Let's begin. You can find a comfortable seated position and close your eyes. Maybe move the body around a little bit to find a comfortable place. And take a deep inhale through the nose, filling the lungs completely, feeling the rib cage expand, and exhaling completely through the mouth, letting it all go. And repeating, inhale through the nose and exhale fully through the mouth. One more time, take your deepest breath yet. Feel the shoulders lifting as you breathe in, your chest expand, and exhale completely, let it all go. Squeeze all of the air out and return to normal breathing. We'll enjoy a few moments of quiet, connecting to the breath, noticing the sensations in the body, feeling good to be back on the mat again. And see if you can relax your forehead a little bit more. Soften your eyes, your jaw, releasing any tension, releasing any stresses, any thoughts about the past, maybe releasing any stress that comes from the holidays. Feeling the weight in your shoulders as gravity pulls them down. Feeling the heaviness of your hands against your legs. Noticing if you can sit up just a little bit taller with your spine a little bit longer. If your thoughts start to wander, just notice it and bring them back to this moment. Maybe mentally take a moment to thank yourself for showing up on the mat, for giving yourself this self care, this self love, this much needed time. Begin to deepen the breath a little bit more, inhaling and filling the lungs, expanding the chest, continuing to breathe. And maybe now rolling the shoulders up and back. So lifting the shoulders, rolling them back, beginning some gentle movement. You can choose to open your eyes or maybe to keep them closed. to stay inside of yourself a bit longer. Change the direction of your shoulders. So rolling them forward now. And just noticing any tightness you might feel in the shoulders, in the back, while you gently move the body. You can relax the shoulders now. Just drop the head off towards the right. So your right ear coming towards your right shoulder, and feeling the stretch all along the side of the neck. And slowly rotate the head down now, looking towards your hip. Notice how it changes where you feel the stretch in the neck. Moving slowly now, continue to drop the neck down, bringing your chin towards your chest. Feeling the stretch on the back side of the neck here as you look straight down. And then slowly continuing to move the neck towards the left. And looking down now towards the left hip, feeling the stretch on the side of the neck. Notice how you're breathing while you're here. When you inhale, does the oxygen stop close to your heart in your chest? Or can you breathe so fully that you see and you feel your stomach pressing out and in while you breathe? Rotate your head just a bit more. So now your left ear is towards your left shoulder. Continuing to notice if the stomach moves out and in as you breathe. Very slowly picking the head all the way up to come to center. Great. You can bring your right hand down towards the mat and stretch your left arm up overhead, reaching over your body and feeling that side stretch. You can choose to pulse here to find stillness. And then on an inhale, lift the chest up, opening towards the sky. And on an exhale, sweep the arm in front of the body, closing off the chest. Continue to flow with the breath, inhaling to open and exhaling to close. Inhale to open, exhale to close. Let's go a couple of more times, just moving with your breath. And on your next exhale, you can keep both hands down on the mat, maybe stretching them away from the body, dropping the head, fingertips stretching away from the body. And on your next exhale, walk your hands towards the front of the mat, so reaching forward. And again, you can drop your head, maybe even resting the forehead onto the floor. And continuing to breathe into this deep forward fold. On your next exhale, continue walking towards the left and stretch both hands out onto the mat. Now the left hand presses down, the right arm reaches up overhead. And you can choose again on this side, maybe to take some pulses, noticing if the left and the right feel different, they feel similar, or maybe you don't really notice, you don't really remember. On your next inhale, lift the chest open, and exhale, sweep the arm in front to close off the chest. Continue to flow with your breath. And even here, these gentle movements, you can choose if you want to close your eyes. It can help us stay more connected to the sensations within the body, to the feelings in yourself, to your breath. Take one more, and then gently come up to be in a seated position. Great. You can stretch your legs out in front of you. Inhale, lift your arms up. Grow the spine long and tall, reaching up, up. We stay here for a few counts. Notice the spine. Notice your sitting bones pressing down into the floor. See if you can pull your shoulder blades to be closer together, so dropping the shoulders down a little bit. Great. Take one more full inhale and exhale, twist open to the right. Your arms can drop down to both sides. Look over your back shoulder and breathe in this twist. Maybe feeling some tingling in the arms. And as you inhale, see if you can grow your spine just a little bit taller, a little bit longer. And as you exhale, see if you can twist just a touch deeper. Take one more full cycle of breath. Inhale. And on your exhale, come back towards the center. Inhale to lift your arms up again and hold for just a moment. Again, notice if your shoulder blades are pulled together, so pulling down the back. Great. Take one more full inhale and exhale, twist open to the left. Arms can come down, looking over the back shoulder. Inhale, think about the crown of the head reaching upwards, the spine being tall. And exhale. See if you can squeeze out that breath while you twist just a little bit deeper. Maybe you even feel the abdominals working a little bit in order to be able to sit up so nice and tall. Take one more inhale, and on the exhale, come back towards center. Great. Reaching forward towards the toes now. Gently notice the stretch in the hamstring, and then begin to pull away from the body. So inhaling, reaching forward, and exhaling, pulling back just a bit. Continue moving at your own pace. Inhaling forward and exhaling to come back. Notice that how far you go forward will determine how deep of a stretch you feel in the hamstrings, and how far you lean back will determine how much your abdominals have to work. We'll do just a couple more. Great. And this time, reach towards your toes, and you can stay in this forward fold position. So maybe the hands come to rest on the legs, maybe at your feet. Great. And notice the curve of your spine. Notice how it begins at your tailbone, your lower back, and feel the energy of your spine coming through the lower back to the middle back, towards your upper back, between your shoulders, running up the length of the cervical spine. See if you can drop your head, your neck just a little bit lower, continuing to send oxygen to all the cells, all the muscles, the tissues of the body. And then slowly come up to sit. Great. So bring your right leg across the left. And actually, pick up the foot. We're going to wrap the foot and the knee. Maybe if I turn this way, you can see better. Yeah, so holding it like a baby and swinging that leg back and forth. So notice the sensation in the hip. Now, if this is too much, you can always hold the leg further away. And if you want more, you just hold it even closer. Now, notice your spine. Is your spine really rounded? Try to sit forward again and keep a tall spine. Yeah, gently. You can bring this leg to cross your left leg. So the right knee is on top. And now, if it's comfortable, tuck your left leg underneath as well. So we're sitting with Gomukhasana legs. The legs are crossed like this. Yeah, with the right leg on top. Yeah. And inhale to lift your arms up. And exhale, drop your right arm down behind the back. And now bend your top arm. See if you can reach your hands together. Maybe your fingertips interlace. Maybe it does not happen on this side of the body. That's okay. And make sure you're not pressing against your neck. So if you feel tension at your neck, you can move the arm out to the side. Take a breath here, and if it feels good on the exhale, experiment with folding forward a bit. Notice maybe if that brings a lot of stress to your shoulder or your hip. And remember to find the point between stress and ease. So we want to push ourselves enough that we feel the work we are doing, but not to the point of pain. So when we're in stressful situations, such as this pose, or maybe holiday events, it can be an opportunity for us to grow stronger. Take one more breath here. And on an exhale, slowly rise. Drop the shoulders and just take a moment to roll the arms back, maybe forth, and reach your shoulders forward to give yourself a little hug. Maybe you twist the abdomen side to side here too. Great. You can drop the arms now. Extend both legs out. Good. And bend your left leg. Again, cradling this leg like a little baby. So maybe it comes with more ease on this side, perhaps with more difficulty. Just noticing, not judging. When we wake up the hip muscle on this side, the hip joint. Notice again while you're moving here, where does your breath stop? Are you continuing to breathe fully, or has your breath returned to be shallow? You can gently stop the movement and carefully place this left leg on top of the right. Bend the right foot back. And here we are in Gomukhasana on our second side. Inhale to lift your arms up overhead. And exhale, your left arm will drop down and the right hand will reach back. Again, noticing on this side how easy or how challenging it feels. You can choose to stay tall or when you're ready, leaning forward. Even if you're folded forward, see if you can continue to send the breath everywhere in the body, sending the oxygen even out to your toes, all the way to your fingertips. Noticing the sensations, maybe in the shoulder, maybe in the hip. Knowing, recognizing that some stress is good. Take one more cycle of breath, and gently rising up, releasing the hold of the hands, and slowly rolling the shoulders back and forth. And giving yourself a little hug on this side of the body. Again, maybe moving the abdominal, twisting side to side. You can release the hands, stretch the legs out in front. And we'll take the legs wide now, turning wherever you need to in your space so you fit. And begin to walk your hands forward. So bringing the legs just as wide apart as you need to in order to feel a good stretch. Maybe you stay up here and you feel a good stretch on these inner thighs. Maybe you walk down even further. So just listen to what your body is telling you this evening. We'll take one more full breath here. So maybe go just a little bit further if it feels okay for this last moment. And then on your next inhale, slowly use your hands to walk yourself back up. You can pull the legs in and we'll roll forward into tabletop pose. Great. So coming to tabletop, just take a few cat cows. Make sure your fingertips are spread widely apart, pressing down into the mat. On an inhale, lift the head, lift the chest, look forward. Tailbone sticks out. And on an exhale, press away down into the mat, releasing all air, looking the chin towards the chest, continuing to move at your own pace with your own breath, feeling all these subtle sensations in the body. Finish this round and then come to a neutral cat cow. You can extend your right leg back, keep the toes on the mat, and begin to move back and forth while you feel the stretch in the calf muscles. Maybe you switch the direction of your hands so your fingertips point towards your toes. And we'll go ahead right away and switch legs. So bring the right leg in and extend the left leg back, toes down. Yeah, moving back and forth. If your fingers are pointed towards your toes, maybe return your hands towards the normal position now and come back to tabletop. On an inhale, lift your right arm up and reach towards the sky, twisting open the chest. On an exhale, thread the needle. Inhale, come right back up. Exhale, thread the needle. Once more, inhale, twist all the way open. And this time on the exhale, thread the needle and stay down. Yogi's choice, your top hand, can reach forward above your head, or you can choose to take a half bind behind the back. We're going to add one other piece today. So take your left leg while you're here and extend your left leg back. So pressing a little bit more into the right shoulder. The left leg is up. while the left hip is up. Stay here for just another breath. Great. And then gently bring that left leg back. Knee comes to the mat. Unwind. And on an inhale, reach up once more. Exhale to the mat, return to tabletop. Good. Take a moment here, maybe shake the hips out. Move your hips, move your bum side to side. Move the shoulders, maybe roll the back up. Just really bringing movement back into all parts of the body. And then find your neutral tabletop. And on an inhale, lift your left arm up towards the sky, twisting open. Exhale, thread the needle. Inhale, open. Exhale, thread the needle. Inhale to open. Exhale, thread the needle. This time, stay down low. Top arm reaches forward or takes a bind behind the back. And now your right leg is going to kick back. So lift that knee up, extending the right leg behind you. Great. So it becomes kind of an awkward balance. And you should have, so your right shoulder should be totally down on the ground. Yep. And your head should be touching the mat as well. So it's the side of your head, your shoulder, your left knee, they're all touching the ground. Take one more full breath and slowly bring that knee back to the mat. Untwist. And on an inhale, stretch that left arm, twisting open one last time. Exhale, place your hand down on the mat, returning to table. Tuck your toes, lift up your knees, and hover. So we do a little bit of core work here. See if you can press away in the space between the shoulders. So really lifting up out of the backside of the heart. Nice. Let's hold here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Press your hips, your legs all the way back, coming to downward facing dog. Maybe walk your dog, extending one knee and straight and bending the other. Great. Moving in a way that feels good to you. And now looking towards your hands, bend both knees and walk towards the top of the mat. Come to a forward fold, ragdoll. So maybe grab opposite elbows, relax the head, the neck completely. You can choose to stay still or to move left to right. Stay connected to the breath. Notice where you feel this the most. Is it your hamstrings? Is it your lower back? Somewhere else? Gently release your hands towards the floor and slowly on an inhale, begin to stand. Great. Come up to Tadasana. Maybe just roll your shoulders back. Take a moment to check in with yourself. Notice how everything is feeling. And then on an inhale, lift your arms up overhead, stretching them up, maybe even looking up. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come up to a halfway lift with a nice long spine. And exhale, forward folds. Plant your hands on the mat and step both feet back, coming to a high plank. You have the option here to lower down slowly, dropping your knees forward first, or to chaturanga. Inhale, come forward to cobra pose, feeling the extension i- in the lower back, feeling your chest expanding forward. Continue to take a couple of breaths here. One more inhale. And exhale, press all the way back. Downward facing dog. Maybe see if you can press your hands a little bit more firmly into the mat. Reach your heels just a little bit more towards the mat. Think about your tailbone going up towards the sky, really creating that V-shaped pose. Nice. Inhale, lift your right leg up. And exhale, bend the knee, open your hip. So pressing the hips out to the side, you should think of your right hip being stacked on top of your left hip. Nice. Take a breath now to straighten the leg. And exhale, slowly step that foot all the way forward between the hands. Drop your knee and come to a low lunge. Nice. Think about lifting your chest up, maybe coming up onto the fingertips, and pressing the hips down and forward. So the deeper you press, the more you'll feel this opening in the hips. If it's too much, you can always scoot back. Maybe your gaze is looking forward. Maybe you close your eyes for a moment and bring your energy to your third eye, the space between your eyebrows. Keep the back knee down and scoot the hips all the way back, straightening the front leg. Yes, nice. Come to a half split. Continue to breathe. If you pull your toes towards your nose, you'll feel the stretch even more. Now take both hands and walk them to the outside of the leg. So the hands are coming to the outside of that straight leg. Great. See how maybe this changes exactly where you feel it. Maybe it's a little bit more in the IT band now. Slowly walk your hands back towards center. Bend that knee, walk your hands forward. We come back to the low lunge. Good. Plant your left hand down and inhale, lift your right arm up, twisting the chest open. Very nice. Take a few breaths here, reaching that hand up, while pressing your bottom hand down. Think of the expansion in the chest. Take one more inhale. And on the exhale, bring that hand back down to the mat, but this time to the inside of the foot. So moving your foot to the outside of your mat. Great. So we have hand, foot. We are in lizard pose now. Feel the stretch here, really sinking into that front leg. And now scooting the foot all the way to the opposite side of the mat, we move into pigeon. Great. So the front leg comes across. Yes. Very nice. If you have a cushion, a sweatshirt, maybe place it under your bum to keep your hip lifted. And yogi's choice, you can choose to stay tall, to stay here. You can walk both arms all the way down, Or you can even choose to stretch your arm back to grab your back foot, so bending the knee of that leg. Nice. Very nice. Looks great. Continue breathing where you are. Notice the sensation. Again, maybe close your eyes. Know that there are so many variations of all these poses. And maybe every time you practice, you try something new. We all have our favorites, but it's good to mix things up. Gently releasing any variations you have now, coming up if you were lying forward, placing both hands on the mat in front of you, and slowly coming back to downward facing dog. Take a moment to just walk your dog, maybe shaking the hips left and right. Great. And now, inhaling, lift your left leg up. Exhale, bend the knee and open the hip. So again, when I say open the hip, it means your pelvis should be reaching towards the long edge of your mat instead of facing down. You should think about having your left hip stacked on top of your right hip. Inhale now, straighten that leg, coming back to three-legged dog. Great. And exhale, slowly step that foot forward in between the hands. Drop your back knee down and come to a low lunge. Great. Maybe come up on your fingertips. Think about lifting the chest open and meanwhile pressing the hips down and forward. Great. Let's take a few breaths here, sending them right to the hips. Again, if this is too much, you can always pull the hips back a little bit. And now lifting the hips back all the way and slowly straightening the front leg. Continue leaning over the leg in a half split. Great. Take one more breath here, pulling the toes towards your nose. And on the exhale, you can walk both hands towards the left side of the body. So just changing a bit where we feel this stretch. Taking one more inhale. And on the exhale, walk back towards center. And once again, push the hips forward, coming into that low lunge. Great. Press your right hand down onto the mat and inhale, lift open towards the left. So taking a little twist here, stretching your top hand up while pressing, grounding your bottom hand down. Feeling that sensation in the hips as you sink them just a little bit lower. Take one more breath. And exhale, bring that hand to the inside of the foot. So the foot goes to the outside of the mat. We are in lizard pose. So really feeling a stretch in the hips here. You can choose to look down or forward. And now scooting that foot all the way across the mat to the opposite side, coming into pigeon pose. Great. Maybe place a cushion or a sweatshirt under your left hip to help keep your hips square. And once again, yogi's choice, you can choose to sit tall. Maybe you just walk your hands forward. Maybe you rest your forehead on the mat. Or perhaps you bend the back knee on this side and reach for your foot. However you prefer. Beautiful. It's important to stay connected to ourselves because we have so many choices all of the time, every day, every moment. And the more we're connected to ourselves, the more we're able to make the most authentic choice for ourselves. So, this tuning inwards that we do in yoga can help us accomplish all of that. This looking inwards, this quieting down helps us connect with our true self, our most authentic self. Take one more breath here. And on the exhale, you can slowly begin to push yourself back to downward facing dog. Maybe walk the dog, bending one knee and the other while you move your hips. Now find some stillness in the downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana in Sanskrit. And take your left hand and gently, slowly lift it and reach towards your right leg. So maybe the shin, maybe the ankle. So twisting across the body and looking under the shoulder. Continue to breathe, pressing down firmly into the hand that is planted, and slowly return that hand to the mat. Take the opposite hand and reach back for your ankle, twisting. Return to downward facing dog. And now slowly lower your knees and press back to child's pose. Great. Take a moment here, pressing the forehead down onto the mat, noticing the breath, noticing the physical sensations. Slowly come forward and down onto the belly. You can keep your hands near your chest and gently press the chest up. We come back into cobra pose and press up as much as feels good to you. So maybe it's a baby cobra, maybe it's a nice deep one. Take a full breath here. And as you exhale, look over your right shoulder. So twisting, looking back. Take a couple of breaths here. And then coming back towards center. Inhale fully. And exhale, twisting over the left shoulder while you look back. So we're getting a little back bend, a little twist. Take one more breath. And exhale, come back towards center, slowly lower down all the way. You can rest your hands, maybe put your forehead on top of the hands and just shake the hips out from side to side. And now lifting up just to Sphinx pose. So the forearms are pressing down on the mat with the shoulders below, the shoulders above the elbows. And bending maybe one leg at a time. Just kick your legs up slowly. You might be able to guess what's coming. Going to do a little bit of a stretch for the quadricep muscles. So bring your right foot towards your butt and extend your left foot down. Take your right hand and just reach back. See if you can press that foot, bringing it down closer to your bum and feeling the stretch on the quadricep, the quad muscle of your right leg. Maybe you even feel a stretch in the shoulder, an opening in the shoulder. Gently release this side. Let that foot come back to the mat. And bend your left foot towards your bum. Reach back with your left hand and press it a bit closer, getting a stretch on that side. You can gently release. And if you're feeling up to it, we have the option for bow pose now. So bending both feet and reaching back with both arms. You can have kind of an easy bow where you keep your head down on the mat. Or if you want more of a stretch, lifting the chest up, lifting the legs up, pressing your feet into your hands. So you really feel the quads open up, the shoulders open. Get a strong back bend here. Great. Continue breathing. See if you can stay for 3, 2, 1, and gently release lower down to the mat. Again, place your hands under your forehead, shake your hips back and forth to the sides. And then go ahead and roll right over onto your back. Rolling onto the back, you can hug your knees in towards your chest. Maybe move left and right. And feel a little massage on the back as you do that. Extend your left leg all the way out. Hug your right knee in. And pull now the right knee across the body. Extend your arms out to the side and perhaps look over your right shoulder. Take one more breath here. And on the exhale, roll onto your back again. You can hug both knees in. And this time, extending the right leg, keeping the left knee hugged in tight. And then bringing that knee across the body. Arms extend out and look over your left shoulder. Take one more full deep breath here. Inhale fully. And exhale, roll onto your back. Hug both knees into the chest tightly. Maybe take happy baby or another pose if there's something your body needs. And then, when you're ready, extending both legs out onto the mat, both arms out by your sides, with the palms facing upwards in a gesture of receiving. Great. Maybe placing a blanket on if you have one. We'll move into a few minutes of Savasana. Slowly begin. Bring your awareness back to your surroundings. Maybe noticing any sounds around you. Noticing the sensation of your clothing against your skin or the air. Slowly begin to move your head from left to right. Maybe bring some movement into your fingers and your toes, rolling the hands, the wrists, the feet, and the ankles. Maybe you inhale and reach your arms up overhead, stretching the whole body, pointing the toes. If you'd like, you can curl up into a tight little ball. And slowly, when you're ready, moving on to the right side of the body. Slowly, eyes can still be closed, coming up to a seated position. Take a couple of moments, again with eyes closed, so you're better able to look within. Today is one of the last days of 2024. And it is also a new moon. This new moon marks the beginning of a new lunar cycle, so it can be the perfect time to plant the seeds of a new chapter, to manifest a new reality. So maybe today or tomorrow, you can try to find some time to really connect with that authentic, true self. And think about what seeds you would like to sow, what seeds you would like to plant and watch grow of a new chapter, what your intentions, your visions, your goals might be for this next year ahead. Slowly bring your hands together, heart center, and we bow forward as a sign of respect to Mother Nature, to the planets, the Earth, the solar system, to each other, and to this ancient tradition of yoga. Namaste. Thank you so much for practicing with me today.